If I asked you right now to name 10 local wedding vendors near you who would happily send you couple referrals, could you do it? If not, stick around. I'm going to show you exactly how to make that happen without being awkward or pushy or that pesky efficient. It comes down to 3 rules. I'm going to lay them out. Let's get into it. When you're a new or even seasoned wedding officiant hoping for more bookings, there's a magical moment when you realize, oh no, I can't just sit here and wait for the phone to ring. You gotta get out there, you gotta network, you gotta build relationships with fellow wedding vendors, and not just the ones you meet by chance at weddings or work with. I'm talking about cold calling as well. Yep, that's slightly terrifying, reach out to people you never met kind of calling, but before you start picturing yourself in a headset, reading a script, being hung up by 9 out of 10 local wedding pros, relax. I am going to show you how to do this the right way, in a way that actually builds trust, gets you remembered, and lands you referrals, and it's a lot of fun at the same time. This is exactly how I've done it in 2 completely different markets. First, when I was getting started in Toronto, and then all over again when I moved to New Brunswick, and I knew absolutely no one in the industry out here. Really, it comes down to those 3 rules. But first, let's zoom out and talk about where do referrals even come from at all. A healthy wedding officiant practice has 3 main stream of referrals flowing in. One stream comes from couples who have seen you in action. Your past couples, you nailed that ceremony like no one's ever seen, and they recommend you to other people to be their officiant for their upcoming wedding. That's the first stream. The second stream is vendors you've worked with, planners, photographers, DJs, venue owners. They've watched you run a ceremony like a pro, and then they thought, I want this person as the officiant at all my weddings too. And the third stream is cold traffic. Couples who are searching for an officiant on the internet. They search up wedding officiant, and hopefully you're there with great reviews, photos of you officiating, and an easy way for couples to contact you and ask you about your availability. That's another video for another time. But there is a 4th stream that builds up positive regard in the wedding industry and in your area, and it's vendors you haven't even worked with yet. You don't know them, they don't know you, but they could become one of your biggest referral sources in the long run. And this is something you do have control over. Again, you're not just waiting for the phone to ring. That 4th untapped stream, that's what we're tackling today. That's going to extend your reach beyond the first 3 if you're just starting out. And then as you officiate more weddings, they become that 2nd stream. You've worked together with those vendors, they rave about you to their clients, and that gets you more bookings. Let's get into the steps how you start breaking into the world of fellow vendors you haven't even met yet in your area. This is networking that actually works. Step 1, it's simple, find them. So just open Google or your favorite search engine and type in wedding in your area. Not wedding planner, that's too narrow, just wedding, and you'll find a mix of venues, planners, photographers, DJs, all the key players in your local wedding market. Make yourself a list, and these are your targets. I mean that in the least creepy way possible. These are the people you're going to want to meet. Step 2, shift your mindset. Here is where most officiants blow it, frankly. They contact these people and then they come in hot and they ask for referrals right out of the gate. Hi, my name is Mark. I'm amazing. Put me on your preferred vendor list, please. I'm really looking for bookings. I'm really good. No, that approach, just delete that from your mind, okay? Instead, your mindset, start in your head. It needs to be, I want to learn from and about these folks. When you approach somebody with curiosity instead of desperation, they feel that, and that makes all the difference. Your fellow wedding vendors have so much to teach you, especially when you're new, but even if you're not. Who's booking weddings right now? How are couples spending money? What trends are dying off? Which ones are firing up? What is working for these vendors? What is not working for these vendors? Go in like a student. Don't go in like a salesperson, okay? Be curious. I want to learn from and about you. Step 3, bring the right tools to the meeting. So there are really only 2 things you need. First, you need a business card for when you meet someone in person and you want them to have a way to follow up with you when they remember to after your meeting. And second, you do want to have a rack card or a postcard, something with your services listed, maybe a QR code, contact info that drives people to your website. If you have one, summarizes what you do. And that is for after your meeting, when they need a little reminder that explains who you are, what services you provide, and if they do want to describe or refer you to someone else. You may or may not use this or leave this one behind at this meeting, okay? That's really important. When you show up at a venue or with a planner for coffee, you want to have both of these on hand, but you're not handing them a stack or even both and say, please give these to your couples. That might come later, but for now, the business card comes out at the end of your conversation. Sure, this is me. Follow up. I'd love to stay in touch. And then that rack card or postcard comes out if they ask how they can refer you to their clients. And then that tool that you pull out is the answer to that question. That is why in this first meeting, you might not actually use the rack card or postcard, but definitely go in prepared and having it if you need it. Now, step 4, now that you're prepared for the meetup, make contact. Now, you have a few options. First, just call them. Yep. With your actual phone. If they don't answer, leave a short, friendly voicemail, something like, hi, my name is Mark. I am a wedding officiant in local area. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to hear about your work. If you got a few minutes, I'd love to buy you a coffee or visit your venue. If they are a venue owner, get a tour. Yes, that is old school. And that is how it cuts through the noise. Listen, I get dozens of emails and texts soliciting me every week for Unboring Wedding. Can you do this? Can you do that? When somebody calls, though, and I hear their voice, I do take note and I listen to what they have to say. And if they're offering to take me out for a drink and talk weddings and learn from me, I am going to consider that a lot more than emails that are spamming or texting or asking me for something. Option 2, mail them something first, okay? Maybe your rack card with a handwritten note attached introducing yourself. Again, it's old school, but it gets attention. And that's what these strategies are about. They're personal and they're personalized. Then follow up with a call. After you figure that got to them through the mail, then you phone and say, hey, I sent you something in the mail last week. Not sure if you got it yet, but I'd love to connect if you can. Then option number 3, you can pop in selectively. So this works best for venues, of course, or businesses with a public space. Don't ambush them in their home or corner them in the grocery store for 45 minutes with a conversation when you make that first connection. No. Pop in, say hello, leave your card, ask about setting up a future time to have a good conversation. You've made a great first impression now. You're respecting their time. You're proposing. You spend more time together and then you get out. Now, step 5, have the conversation. So now you got them on the phone or they're sitting across from them, whatever you arrange for this chat, the conversation. And here's your secret weapon. Ask them about their business. Ask them how they got started, what kind of couples they serve, what's their most popular service right now, what has been most challenging this season. And here's the twist that makes you unforgettable. You ready? You tell them you want to refer them to your couples. Even if you're just starting out, you don't even have couples yet, you know that. Mark, I don't have any couples. That's okay. You still say, I'm building a list of great vendors in my area so that when someone asks me for recommendations, I know exactly who to send them to. Did you catch that? You flipped the script. You're not here to take, you're here to give. And guess what happens when you start genuinely talking up vendors who you built a relationship with? Yes, they refer you back. Spread the love. Nothing but good is going to come in return, okay? Now, step 6, play the long game. Look, patience is hard, and I got to be honest, this is not a call them on Monday, get a wedding by Friday kind of thing. Relationships take time. Vendors want to see you are going to stick around. A lot of wedding vendors are fly-by-night, trying it for a season. Real professionals in the industry want to know that you're not a one-season wonder who's going to disappear by next summer. So stay in touch. Keep showing up. Follow them on social. Engage with their posts. Drop them a quick note now and then. Go to wedding shows. You're there. They're there. You connect again. When you do finally work together at a wedding and you nail it, you're going to be on their radar forever, okay? And here's a bonus tip. Don't just network with planners and photographers and DJs. Connect with your fellow officiants in your area as well. Why? Some of my best referral partners are officiants who don't really like doing big 150 guest unboring productions that I love. And they send me all of those couples who reach out to them. And in return, I send them all the little elopements that I don't love doing. It's a win-win. We complement each other. That's one of the reasons why you want to have a contact list of officiants who you can refer for each other as well. All right, let's land this plane. Remember those 3 rules I mentioned at the top? Well, here they are as a summary of everything I just said. First, have a posture of learning. That means you go in curious and you're not salesy. Second, refer your fellow vendors first. Make it about helping them, learning about them, not about getting something out of them for yourself. And third, play the long game. Relationships take time to grow. Wedding bookings happen way far out on the calendar. So remember, be patient. Something good is happening when you stick with it. Cold calling doesn't have to be awkward. Done right, it is the first step in building your own local wedding family. The people who make weddings better together help your businesses thrive. And seeing the same vendors over and over is one of my favorite things about officiating. It's that team you get to see again and again and refer to each other again and again. So make your list, pick up the phone, start meeting your future referral partners now, and you'll be so glad you did. If this was helpful, hit that like button, subscribe to this channel so you never miss my next tip for unboring weddings. And if you want to eliminate all the worry, all the overwhelm, all the hours putting together a wedding ceremony, check out unboringweddingacademy.com in the link description. That is your solution, the best decision you can make around wedding officiating. Hey, I want to hear from you. Have you ever cold called a wedding vendor? How did it go? Would you add to my steps? Would you change something? Let me know in the comments. I read everything you write. Until next time, have a great one and marry on.